like to say welcome. My name is Reverend Harris. I'm the assistant pastor of New Light Church of God here in West Fresno. My residing pastor is Pastor Paul McCoy, who has been in the ministry and the founding pastor of our ministry. I'm also the national president of the National Network in Action here in Fresno, California, on the West Coast. We have national field marshals all over the country, which we help take resources to them for their community. I'd like to welcome you today to this important day. This is a very important day for Fresno, a very important day for a lot of families, about 150 families, and it's a historical day. For me, I've been involved in No on Measure G, and I'll get into some of the particulars here. But I'm encouraging everyone to go vote today, and I'm going to get into why you need to vote. Again, this is June 4th, 2013, and this day will go down in the history of Fresno for our city. We are at a crossroads here today pertaining to our Mayor Ashley Swearington, who has decided to balance the city budget, on the backs of our garbage collection waste department. These families and men and women who I have met, who have came to my church, who has came to my facility, we have prayed. They have told me their concerns and how this will affect their families if this garbage department is privatized to a private company. Fresno right now is, I would say, on the verge of bankruptcy because of decisions that has been made in the past with bad choices with development projects in the city, which has drained our general fund. Lawsuits is another piece why our general fund is drained from the city's budget. And so our mayor, our good Mayor Ashley Swearington, has decided and wanted to sell our garbage department to a private entity called Mid-Valley Disposal, a family that lives in Kerman, California. And so I am just here today to encourage you, as well as my senior pastor, Pastor Paul McCoy, that all of you need to go out and vote today. It's important because you have to understand that my people, African American people, at one point in time in America, did not have the right to vote in this country. If you know your history and read your history, you will know that my people, my ancestors, were slaves in this country. We were made to work on plantations. We were brought over here on chains and boats to work from sun up to sun down. And through all of that, history, we still was looked upon as a second-class citizen. We were still looked upon as 3/5 of a human being. We were still, and even today, still looked upon as that in America. And it took, folks like Megan Everett and Thurgood Marshall and Rosa Parks and Dr. Martin Luther King. Megan Everett was in Mississippi advocating to get black folks the right to vote. And that's why I'm stressing voting today, because he gave his life for me. He gave his life for you. I don't care if you're black, brown, yellow, doesn't matter to me. He gave his life. He took a bullet in the back of the head in front of his house with his three little children, girls on the other side of the door, because he was trying to get us the right to vote. And so we must go out today and vote, if it's not just for that reason, but we must get out to vote for this issue here. We must take a stand in the city. The city of Fresno is a good old boy city. It's about the haves and the have-not. And I believe that just as well as we went out and collaborated from all corners of Fresno to get the correct amount of signatures, which I believe was 42,000 signatures that had to be validated. The community went out and got those signatures. If we could do that, family, we can go and vote today at the polls and make sure that this doesn't pass today. And unfortunately, the mayor has went out and gotten support from different organizations locally. It was made to my attention that one of our local agencies was the our Fresno Black Chamber of Commerce, which Mr. Tate Hill I know personally. Very good brother, very good man. But for whatever reason, he decided to support the mayor on this, which was kind of disturbing for some of us leaders. But, you know, one monkey doesn't stop a show, as my grandma always tells me. So I believe he has his reasons why he did that. And I believe that he will probably stick to his reasons. But, you know, but the masses of our community today don't believe that this is right. And I want to go into the article here. This is the California Advocate. You may see me to the left or to the right there. Mr. Les Kimber is speaking at a press conference at the Fresno City Hall. I did speak at this press conference and spoke very passionately about what was going on and no on G. Today is the last day, folks. We got to get out and vote and send a message to the mayor and those who felt that, you know, we're just going to eliminate jobs. You know, just listening to the families about how this will impact them. Some has 10, 15, 20, 30 years of service, retirement, 401ks tied up, vacation pay, sick leave, you know, all tied up in today's vote. I mean, wouldn't it just so spectacular to be part of something so historical? Even Dr. Jean Kennedy from Atlanta, Georgia, who was is my co-host on Real Talk with the #1 Doctors. She's even concerned all the way in Atlanta, Georgia, because her family is here. And so we have the world watching today. And I'm just doing one last push before time is out that we get out and vote today, because it's important. This is a special election. You know, taxpayers put a lot of money up for this day, you know, and we don't want to let them down. And so I would like to go into some of the reading here so that you can become educated in regards to what has happened here in Fresno. And so again, this is the California Advocate, our black newspaper here in Fresno, California. And I'm going to go ahead and read some of the content and the language here so that you can be even more educated on what's happening here. Okay, on Tuesday, June 4th, Fresno residents will have the opportunity to stop Mayor Ashley Swearingen from dismantling Fresno Solid Waste Department and literally giving $50 million of city assets to Mid-Valley Disposal for less than $10 million, which represent the largest gift of public property in the history of Fresno. Mid-Valley Disposal is a small 15-year-old garbage collecting company located in Kerman, California. Okay, within the last 15 years, Mid-Valley Disposal has served small cities in Fresno County with a total of some 17,000 customers. Measure G will give Mid-Valley Disposal 107,000 new customers, a 6.25% increase in customer for an annual income of more than $30 million per year and $300 million for the first 9 years of the contract. Okay, Mid-Valley has been one of the largest contributors to the Yes on G campaign that has been used to pay for lawsuits filed by City Manager Mark Scott and to pay for political ads featuring Chief of Police, Mr. Jerry Dyer, in support of Measure G. The mayor has used the possibility of the city going bankrupt if Measure G fails, a scare tactic that has been used by right-wing conservatives, lawmakers throughout the country in order to shrink government and bust unions. If Measure G passed on June 4th, the $2 million annual fees paid by Mid-Valley Disposal will do little to solve the city budget problems, and the mayor will be successful in putting city employees against each other while at the same time using or misusing her paid city administration staff to campaign for the passage of Measure G. If the mayor is in fact fearing the possibility of bankruptcy for the city, then why is she giving away the city assets, weakening the city balance sheet, and creating a private sector monopoly that will prove to be bad for future Fresno ratepayers? The mayor continues to use other cities in California as justification to privatize the departments. She states over and over again that 90 to 95% of the cities use private garbage companies. She fails to state the fact that 90 to 95% of the cities in California are 95 to 95% smaller than Fresno. That there is no city anywhere in the country that after 85 years of operating has by contract created a private sector monopoly to help one Kerman family become rich while destroying the lives of 150 Fresno families who have served the city well over the years. The mayor has probably signed the governor's Northwest pledge to never raise taxes. Otherwise, she would pursue other avenues for solving the city budget problems that will maintain police and fire protection, as well as restore parks and recreation activities for Fresno 500 million residents. Measure G is bad for the future of Fresno. Ratepayers, vote no on Measure G. There you go, folks. I'm heading to the polls right now because this is a historical day. I want to make sure that I'm part of it. I want to make sure that I send a message to the mayor that you just can't run over families because the garbage workers had nothing to do with the budget. The garbage workers didn't make no decisions on the city council, but yet you want to go after them and dismantle their lives. It's not right. It will never be right. And shame on her for doing that, for pushing this. There has to be another way. Not to destroy families. Not to take away food out of little children's mouths. Not to take away children medical care. Not to take away children be able to go to college and their parents saving up for that. This is not right, Fresno. It's not right. And we have to stand up today to our mayor and just send a message to her and her supporters that we are somebody. We are human beings. And can't not 1, 2, 3, or 4 people on the city council decide who keeps their job. We decide that as taxpayers. You work for us. You will always work for us, and you will listen to us. And what we say will stand. It's too long that Fresno is be running like a good old boy city, the haves and the have-nots. And it's time for black and brown and all of us to come together as one people and stand together and unite. Because if we overcome this today, trust me, something is coming in the harbor. This is Reverend Harris, Assistant Pastor, New Life Church of God, National President, National Network in Action. And we just encourage you to go out and vote today because it's important. They're depending on us today. I'll be back tomorrow to see if you went out and vote. Let's do it, Fresno. Let's do it, family.